Howdy y'all, Mooklex Lives. I think it's time to play a little 7 Days to Die. Alright, so I am Oop. Come on, game. I gave you time to load in. Load in. I don't know what's up with my 7 Days to Die today, but it is laggy. I am attempting to harvest meats. There's no way I can build a bridge across this. I'm pretty sure this is too far, and I'm just gonna fall and break my leg. Not eating meats, but farm plot meats, which is a different kind of meat. You know what? Can I make rotten flesh from meat? Doesn't look like it. It's called rotten flesh, right? And they're called farm plots. Rotting. It's rotting flesh. Yep. So I've gotten 14 so far. I need like bajillions. Bajillions. Yep. 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 Just see that? I predicted it and it happened. I am the terrible at scavenging prophet. Yeah, it's getting pretty late, man. This video is gonna keep me up way too late tonight. It's a good thing I ain't got nothing to do tomorrow but work. Alright, that's what I'm looking for right there. I have, oh nice. I have, changed, tried to change when I do my recording session on days like this where I have worked, and it's split in half by my Monday streaming, Monday, Thursday streaming sessions. And so what I normally do is I work till it's streaming time, and then I join the guys to play whatever it is we're playing for the day, and then ooh, I'm like almost dead from falling. And then that is not a wooden door. I thought that was a wooden door. It's not a wooden door. Put a snipe shot in your head. Nice. But I'm not putting a point into that. I am putting a point into Sexual Tyrannosaurus. Jeez, let's just shoot the wood all around him. There we go. Nice. Such a bad aim. So today I'm like, all right, I am gonna do my normal. Because seeing what it does is allows me, when I'm done with work, I can just go straight to bed. right? And so it's broke leg, man. I get out there, go to work. I get out there. I do my work, break for streaming, go back to work for a little bit, and then it's dinner time. So I go and eat dinner, and then I come down and I get ready to record, and I start up the game, and I start recording, and then my sister wanders in, and she's like, "What are you doing?" "I don't want to eat by myself. Can I eat here in your room with you?" "My kids don't want to sit with me." "Fine." So then she stayed for an hour and a half. And then at that point, I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to finish my workday, I guess. And it usually takes me till about 1 a.m. to get done with work Mondays because there's so much going on in my schedule. And so it's almost midnight. I guess I got a little bit more done today than before streaming than normal. And so that's nice, I guess. I can not play my video game like I had planned. Because I won't be able to. Uh-oh. Oh yeah, that's not how that works. I'm trying to fix my gun by hitting the reload key. Um. Die. I'm gonna start playing Witcher 2, I guess, as my. What am I gonna do today? I've got a couple extra hours game. Now that I'm done with Cyberpunk. What I want to do is I want to finally get around to doing Witcher 3. And so to do that, I feel like I should do Witcher 2. Because I've never finished Witcher 2. And I've got the, so Witcher's a weird one for me. I like Witcher a lot. A lot. It's a great game. It's a great TV series. And so I I don't know why I never finished 2. I just don't know why. It just didn't happen. And then I had purchased 2. Somehow I owned 2 on a different format than Steam. And so I finally got it on. Well, no. So I owned it on a different format. I think I owned a GOG version of it, but I never remember to open GOG. Like it's not something that I do, right? It's Steam and that's it. If you're not on Steam, I forget you exist. And then I got a video card, and it came with 3, but it came with GOG 3, and so I'm sorry, but I have nobody to turn that into. I tried to swap over to a new map and it didn't work. And so I never played it. Never played it. And so I finally caught 2 and 3 on a big sale on Steam. And I bought them. And so it came with them and all their add-ons. Because I know Witcher 2 is supposed to be awesome with wine and something expansion. So I'm looking forward to that, I guess. And I was going to start playing it tonight if I got done with work in time. And while I will be done slightly earlier with work than normal, I won't be able to render this video and play that game. I mean, I could. I definitely could. My computer will definitely handle Witcher 2 and rendering at the same time. But when I play a game and render at the same time, it extremely extends out the time that it takes to render. And so I don't have time for a 2-hour render tonight because I'm playing something else that I've got set to max graphics settings. And my rendering software wants to use my GPU to do the rendering. You know what I'm saying? So, that ain't happening. I guess tonight. But tomorrow's a day I usually don't have much to do other than work. And so I should be able to probably just about get done with all of work before dinner. Pop in a quick Better Than Wolves. Who knows if it's quick. Sometimes it takes me forever. Oh, that's a rabbit. I wasn't sure what that little brown splotch on the ground was. It was a bunny. Some days you go to record and... Oops, I just stabbed my bike. Some days you go to record and you're like, yeah, I don't like how that turned out. And then you're like, yeah, I got off track. Yeah. I forgot to delete files, and so you only recorded 10 minutes and I talked for 40. You know? So... Or you'll go to record and things will just go horribly wrong. And... Will you stop trying to stab your bike, man? Jeez. What are we up to now? 47. That's getting more respectable. We need 3 more to make an even 10. This will probably do it right here. And then I can get a splint. And a painkiller. Yeah, we played some Final Fantasy XIV last night, and that turned out pretty good. It was, it's kind of funny. So we're playing Final Fantasy XIV. We are new to the game. Like, we don't play every day, and we're new to how the game works, and it works a little different from other MMOs we're familiar with, and we haven't seen the story before. And so when you go to do these missions, they queue you like I don't know, you do in Destiny. Destiny's the only other game I think I've played where you just get randomly matched with people when you go to do a mission. Oh, that's not true. The Avengers game that I didn't get very far in also has a thing where you get matched with rando people as your teammates. And so since there's 3 of us and you need a team of 4, we always get an extra person we don't know as our tank, because I'm playing a caster, a summoner, and the one of the other guys, he's playing a caster black mage, which is DPS, so we're both DPS. And then the other guy, he wanted to play a healer, which is shocking. Like, somebody wants to play a healer? Wow. So he's playing a white mage, so we need a tank, the guy who makes the mobs hit him. Sometimes we get a tank who's never done the dungeon we're in before, and so he'll go at a maybe a bit too slow of a pace. But then sometimes we get someone who's on an alt, who is uh, geared, just crazy geared out, and they'll want to pull the whole dungeon at once. And so it can get pretty crazy. And I don't know what happened last night, but we were bad at the game last night. The guy who plays the black mage, he refuses to control his aggro, which is can be a problem. And I don't think my class does enough damage all at once to pull aggro like a black mage does. Um, Usually they balance out that kind of stuff, so I do I do a similar amount of damage, I imagine, as the black mage, but I do it in smaller, quicker bursts. And so the black mage has got bigger attacks, but they take longer to do. And so maybe, I don't know. I haven't rolled out the program that tells you who's doing how much damage. I should do that one of these days. Where is my base? I need to mark that because I don't. There it is. I don't know where it's at. I've gotten lost. But he pulls aggro a lot, and he also doesn't pay attention very well. It's my DM. It's my DM, right? He's playing the black mage, and it's the same guys I play D&D with, and so I just like we're all together, and then the black mage just wanders off into another room and pulls the guy. And I've already talked about how he runs off when he gets hit instead of staying near the tank so the tank can pull it off of him. But we were terrible. I can't imagine. The boss fights in the game are usually some kind of trick to them, and so the first boss we fought, we had a tank who was pulling just tons of stuff constantly, and it's a good thing he was geared out the way he was, because wow, we were terrible. Um, we died so many times getting through there. Not as a group, no, not as a group, but individually. I bet I had to res the healer 3 or 5 times, which is a lot. It's a lot. Oh, I got a lot of this stuff. Do I have enough? What am I missing? Nitrate powder, it looks like. Yep, nitrate powder. Do I have some more nitrate powder? If I do, it would be in here. There's no nitrate powder. Nitrate powder. Oh, I got a tiny, tiny amount. You got any in here? Oh, I've got a ton in here. All right, there we go. You make all those farm plots for me. All right. And then we can unload. Okay. And then we got a little bit of ammo. Ooh, I'm like out of ammo. A bit of ammo in here for you. I've got some parts in here for you. I've got some medicine in here for you. Sometimes I hit take because you take your medicine. And that is not what I... Oh, you know what? There's some more parts in here. And some more ammo stuff. And some more stuff that goes in the general box here. And stuff that goes in the... Not that. You get in there. You get in there. And make me make me cement. Uh-oh. Oh, we got no stone. Okay. Well, I guess I need to get some more stone. For my cement processing. And anyway, so we get into this fight, right? And we're fighting this dragon, and it there's like these whirlwinds coming out, and this dragon appears in the window, and there's these big cannons, and so we die, or I die because we don't know how it works. The tank can't go do that stuff. How? Oh, dude, I can't get any rocks because I just put my dang pick in there to repair, and it's gonna be a while. No, it's gonna be a minute. I'll chop down some wood then while I wait. So, yeah, we made it through it though. Like we had to res like seven people. We did wipe once, and which is when your entire party dies and you have to run back to the dungeon. But yeah, some of it, at least once, was the fault of the black mage running into another room instead of following the tank. I saw him do it, and then he comes back while we're fighting. I got something on me from another room. Yeah, you did. So that's not the funny part. That's not the funny part. I mean, it's roll your eyes, come on, man, kind of story. But so I've played a lot of Final Fantasy games. I haven't played them all. I haven't beat them all, but I've played most of them, and which doesn't mean anything. I'm not saying that I'm an expert Final Fantasy player. No, that's not the funny part of this story. So I've seen a lot of the guys in Final Fantasy before, right? Because you have a series of games. They're not usually directly related to each other. And so people have their favorites, their favorite monsters, right? And so these monsters reappear throughout Final Fantasy. You got like bombs, right? And flans and um, dragons, of course, but dragons are kind of universal. But you got your summons, right? Those are my favorites, the Ifrit and Shiva. For some reason, didn't make it into Final Fantasy 14, which is weird because she's usually like one of the first ones you always get. I don't know why they put Carbuncle in instead of Shiva. And so and you also didn't get Ramu, which I always like as well. But so we're getting in there, and it's interesting, but a little surprising. As you play through the game, every 5 levels, your class gets a quest that usually results in something special for you, like spells or abilities that you have to unlock by doing your class quest, and stuff like that. Got gear from a class quest. So the summoner summons primals, they call them in Final Fantasy 14. Summons primals, and we're still not to the funny story. We'll get there. It's not even going to be funny to you, but it's funny to me. And so we get in there, and we get to, I don't remember what level it was, but we get to like level 20, right? I can't do my level 20 class quest because we haven't fought Ifrit in the main storyline, which everybody does. And so until we fight Ifrit, I can't unlock my Ifrit summons. So I am blocked for like 7 or 8 levels from completing my class quest because we haven't made it that far in the main storyline. I'm like, this is kind of messed up. Like, everybody's running around with their level 20 and 25 abilities. I don't have them because we haven't fought Ifrit yet in the main storyline. Like, that's weird, right? To lock a class behind I just need some stone, man. And so, um, so we do the Ifrit, and then I get locked again, and we have to fight Titan. Um, and Titan looks a little weird in the game. He doesn't look like he normally does, but he still looks like a big Earth dude, right? And Ifrit looks, every game has a different look for them a little bit, but you usually recognize them. You'd recognize Ifrit if you saw Ifrit and you were familiar with Ifrit. So we get to where we're at now, like level 40s, and I know that the next class quest here pretty quick is going to unlock Garuda as a summons for me. Now, Garuda has almost always been a giant bird. Huge, funny looking bird. When I say funny looking, I mean because it's got a long neck like a dragon. But with like a bird's beak on the end of it. And so it's a bird. It's a bird. It's a wind spirit. It's a bird. Apparently, it's not a bird. I didn't know. In, I want to say Hindu religion, I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. Garuda is a man with a bird's head. And so I was not prepared for what Garuda looks like in Final Fantasy XIV. And so we're talking about it, and they're like, man, what's this Garuda thing? I'm like, oh, it's kind of like a bird, but like dragon at the same time. And so we get to it. It's a woman with 4 wings. I'm like, okay, I'm not really familiar with Garuda being a harpy. I'm not sure what's going on here. And they're like, yes, this is Garuda, queen of the harpies. I'm like, since when? What do you mean it's a woman with wings? So I look up pictures of Garuda from Final Fantasy. Garuda's almost always a bird. Uh, uh, Final Fantasy 3, like the actual 3, not the American 3, had the old school, like Hindu version. I hope it's Hindu. I could be wrong on that. So it looked like a man with bird's wings and a bird's head. But then they just switched it to a bird with a long neck, like super long neck. I don't mean like a goose. I mean like this is like a thick dragon neck kind of thing. And that continued through most of Final Fantasy until Final Fantasy 11. And then in Final Fantasy 11, it's a woman with wings. And then in 12, it goes back. And then in Final Fantasy 14, it's a woman with wings. And in Final Fantasy 15, apparently, it's still a humanoid. I wasn't sure it was a woman, but with wings. And I'm like, why is Garuda almost always a bird? I expected a bird, or like, why is it a woman now? I don't have a problem with it being a woman. We didn't talk to the other ones in a way that made it necessary for it to be a woman. Honestly, if you stripped the feathers and wings off of her and turned her blue, she'd just be Shiva. Because Shiva's almost always a female that looks a lot like what they've got in there for Garuda. But yeah, how many rocks did I get out of that? 645. That's not great. That is not a great amount of rocks. I am disappointed. I have got to figure out, maybe I need to put more points into Miner 69er so that I can bump up how much rocks I get. That could be a problem. None of this is getting me to steel, though. I just keep hoping that I snag that steel. Now I'm starving. Jeez. Get that steel recipe book. Just need that crucible. Well, I think this is probably good. Yeah, it's just like I said, funny to me. Garuda's like always been a bird that I've been aware of. I don't think I made it to Garuda in Final Fantasy 3. And and I definitely had Garuda in Final Fantasy 10, and uh, seen it in 12, and in both of those it's a bird. Um, and 9, it's a bird with rainbow wings. Uh, so yeah, it's interesting, but yeah. The one other weird thing I found with the game, I don't understand why this is a thing. So I come from EverQuest 2 is probably my most played MMO before. Well, I mean, I haven't played Final Fantasy enough to make it even close to some of the other ones I've played. Like I played Star Wars as a raider for a straight year, Star Wars: The Old Republic, and played some Guild Wars and Guild Wars 2, although we never got raiding in that. Played EverQuest 1 as a raider, played EverQuest 2 as a hardcore raider, which means you spend many, 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 many hours in the game. And so yeah, Final Fantasy is not even close to my big MMO yet. I don't think I'm gonna get it to be a because I mean we're almost to level. I don't know what we're gonna do once we reach max level. I don't think we're gonna be raiders. So we'll see. But anyways, so I am more familiar with the way abilities work in like EverQuest and EverQuest 2, and the abilities in EverQuest and EverQuest 2, you get a lot of them. And new MMOs, you don't get many, and I don't like that. I like choices, and so it's very weird to me that you start as an Arcanist. This will be short. You start as an Arcanist, and you get 2 summons. One is a blue carbuncle, which is like a fox with 2 tails, and then you get a yellow carbuncle, and they do different things. And then when you get Ifrit, Ifrit's his own spell. Because when you get Titan, Titan replaces your yellow carbuncle. And then when you get Garuda, Garuda replaces your blue carbuncle. So I don't know why they didn't get their own summons and you get to keep your carbuncle. Or why even have the carbuncles at all if you're just going to change them to Garuda and Titan? I don't know. They do the same abilities, honestly. So it's like they're like, so the summoner should probably have something to summon, right? Yeah. We'll give them some foxes, and then when they get to the appropriate level, then we'll swap them out for their different character model. Okay. Uh, anyways, so with that, I'm gonna call it a day here, which is good because technically it's my tomorrow. Hey, look, it's not doing that thing it was doing before, where it separated them out weirdly for no reason. Hey, aloe vera plant. Why is the aloe vera plant ready to go? And nobody else is. Well, these chrysanthemums look like some of them are ready to go. I'm going to wait till they all get ready to go, though. Alright, so with that, like I said, I'm going to call it a day here. So beware of the small things, lean to the light. I will talk to you later.